Hey, this is Donnie Smith, and I got some used car buying tips for you today. We're going to talk about car buying tips, about buying a used car, determining the value, and determining the car safety ratings. No, I'm not a car salesman or a used car salesman. I teach in the collision repair, but I think I have some tips that I think you're going to find useful, if you're looking to buy or trade in a used car. The first thing that you need to know is determine what the value of the car is. How do you know what your car's worth, or how the dealerships come up with what a car's worth? How do they determine that? Well, with a few simple steps, you can do this yourself, and it's very simple. You can do it online, but you are going to need to take a few notes from your car, whether it's your car or you're looking to buy a used car. I'd recommend going through this process. First thing you're going to need is you're going to need to write down the make and model. What year is it? Is it a Chevrolet, and what kind? Write that down, record it, because you'll need that information. And then you want to write down the body style. Is it a 2-door, or 4-door, a coupe? Write down that information. The transmission, is it an automatic or standard transmission? The mileage, you want to be sure and record the mileage. And then you want to write down all the extras, things like sunroofs, bed liners, aluminum wheels, leather, things like that. Some of those may increase the value of the car, so you want to make sure that you make note of all that. And then the last thing that you want to write down is the condition of the car. The three main areas is the exterior, the paint, the moldings. What kind of condition is that in? And then the interior. You want to inspect the interior and see what kind of conditions that in. Kind of make a note on that. And then you want to look at the engine and the mechanical components. Now, I know you may not be a mechanic, but just kind of look at the condition to see, if it's in fair condition or poor condition. Or make note of all that, because some of that may make a difference whenever you go trying to determine what the value is. Now, once you have all this information gathered, all you do is go to your computer. Now, I'm going to talk about a couple of websites that you can go to, and it basically takes you step by step, what to do. Now, when you go to this website to pull up this information, it's going to give you two values. One is retail and one is trade-in. And what the difference is, retail is what you can expect to sell the car for yourself. That's the retail. And the trade-in is what you can expect a dealership to offer you for your vehicle. Trade-in is going to be less because, the dealership has to make some money. So the trade-in value is going to be less than the full retail. So that's the two values that it'll give you. Now, to do this, go to the Kelley Blue Book, the website for that. Now, I have a link down in the description. It'll take you to a web page. It has all this information in the links, but the specific link to Kelley Blue Book is www.kbb.com, and that'll take you to their website, and it's basically a step-by-step process. You put the year, the make, the model, and it'll ask you the questions, and all you do is answer it, and then it'll give you the retail and the trade-in value. Now, another website I want to mention is real similar to that. If you kind of want to do a little bit of cross comparison, it's an NADA guide, and that will also give you some values for the car too. And to go to that website, you go to nadagaguides.com, and again, that'll be on that web page. If you just go down the description, click there, and I'll have all these links for you. But that'll kind of give you an idea of the two different sources. Basically, all that is two different resources. Every resource is going to be a little bit different, so that'll give you a good idea. Now that you've got the value of the car, don't stop there. There's some very important things you want to consider before buying a used car. And one of those is the safety ratings. Let's face it, we all want to drive a nice car, but our main goal is that, that we stay safe, or our family is safe whenever driving. If we're ever involved in an accident, we don't want to become injured if possible. So safety ratings are important, and ratings basically go from 1 to 5, 1 being not too good, 1 star, and 5 being the best. So that's kind of the safety rating scale that they have. And this is really simple to check too. From cars from 1990 to present, that most of the cars are on this website. If not, it'll tell you that this car has not been tested. Now, to get to that website, it's a government website at www.safecar.gov/safety+ratings. And you just go there, follow a few simple online instructions, put the make, model, and then it'll tell you how many stars that car has been provided. So that's pretty cool to know. and also that's going to tie into insurance, which I'm going to talk about here in just a minute. But another thing before I talk about insurance is the history report, like Carfax. This is very important to know because sometimes it's hard to identify some of the things wrong with the car. I mean, you want to know it's been involved in a wreck or not, but a lot of times these floods, they'll change some of the interior out, but you don't know that the car's been involved in a flood unless you see that report. And the good news is, if you're buying this from a used car lot or a dealership, they usually have this on file. Now, they may not just hand it to you or have you look at it first. You're going to have to ask for it. Ask them if they have a history report on file for that car, and usually they do, and they'll let you see it. And they're pretty easy to understand, and that'll let you know if it's been involved in an accident or been in a flood or anything like that. And that's always good to know. Okay, now the insurance quotes. Now this is one that will get people sometimes. Is the insurance. They find a car, they determine this is a payment that you can afford, and then you buy the car and insurance is way more than you thought. It's very simple to eliminate this problem. I mean, everybody has cell phones and smartphones. You can check that online. Go to your smartphone, there's online quotes. There's some quotes on here that you can get to. If you're using an insurance company already, if you've been using an insurance company, just call them up and ask them. They can give you a quote online. I mean, on the telephone. And I've done that before. Call them up and give them just a few minutes, and they can tell you exactly what the premium is going to be for that car. So I recommend that you get your insurance quote before buying your car. May be surprised, may be happy it would be lower than you thought, but on the other hand, it could save you some money as well when you realize the car might be more expensive for insurance. Now let's talk about why it may be more. Now we all know the more expensive the car, the more it's going to cost on insurance. But that's not the only factor. Some cars, and this is where I come in on the collision repair side, some cars cost more to repair than others. Some cars are very expensive, and this doesn't necessarily mean, according to how expensive of a car it is. There's just some cars that cost a lot to repair. Now that may be too difficult to do research on what cost repairs are on different cars and all that, but just insurance companies already done all that. They've done the research. So when you call for insurance and it's more expensive than you thought, you might want them to go with another make and model because they've determined all that. So just know that different cars cost more or less to repair, and your insurance is going to be affected by that. And then also I'll mention the safety ratings. Now the insurance companies also know what safety ratings that car has. Now of course the lower ratings is not going to get as good of insurance as the higher ratings. So if you have a car with good ratings, good 5-star ratings, your insurance is going to be less expensive for that car. So that's some things to consider, rather than just the cost of the car. You want to also consider the insurance costs involved with it too. Has it been in a wreck? Has it been in a flood? All these things should help you determine, if this is the right car for you or not. Because, a car is a big investment. A lot of people's second biggest investment next to a home. So you want to make this purchase wisely. My last little tip for you, if you are checking with insurance, you might shop around. This is a good opportunity to check with some different insurance companies. If you go to the link in the description down here, on the very bottom of that page, there's a video from Fox News, and they're talking about that. You can save up to $1,000 a year on your premium just by shopping around. So I encourage you to look at some different insurance companies. If you're real satisfied with the insurance company that you have, then by all means stay with them, because again, not all insurance companies are equal either. Some insurance companies cover a little better than others, but that's a whole different topic, and I'm not going to get into that today. Well, I hope you found these tips useful, and good luck on your next car purchase.